Hello, my name is Ben, and this is Nerdism Central.
Not really. This is my house.
On this episode of Nerdism Central, we'll be talking about video games. But first, let's rewind to a few weeks ago and see what was going on in our world. 3 weeks ago, we had something special go on. The end of the world. Truthfully, I would have hoped the end of the world would be a little bit more, exciting. Maybe some fire and brimstone, an earthquake or two, tornado, something. But there was nothing. At least in my house, there was nothing. And seeing that we're still around, I don't think the world ended. So anyway, the reason why I brought this up is because the video game I completed, which was Assassin's Creed 3, involved the end of the world. For those of you who haven't played Assassin's Creed 3, or don't know what it's about you who are a guy named Desmond. And what you do is you go in the Atmos, which is a machine that looks at your DNA and then finds your ancestry, basically, and lets you go through play through your ancestry. And because you're an assassin, your ancestry's really cool, because obviously you play as assassins, and they fight the Templars. The reason you use the Atmos is so then when you go back and look at your past, you can find clues to help figure out how to save the world. The Assassin's Creed 3 story is pretty cool. You play as Connor, the assassin, and he fights for liberty, and he fights for George Washington and the U.S., and, well, I guess not the U.S. yet, but he fights for them becoming independent of the British. Now, Desmond is using Connor to try to find the key to this door inside of a cave, which will lead to the device that will save the world. While at the same time, though, he's hopping out of the Atmos every once in a while, and you go around the world and find these power cores, and they're these little cube thingies. I don't know, it's like a glowing Rubik's Cube. It's so weird. And what they do is he sticks them into different spots around the cave, and then that powers up the different parts of the door, and then when you get the key later on, it allows you to open it. Now as to the gameplay itself. The gameplay, I think, is pretty cool, and if you've ever played an Assassin's Creed game before, you know what it's like. The action is really well put together, and I like what they did, especially incorporating all the guns, because almost every enemy you've come across has a gun. And so with the whole meat shield mechanic that you can use, combined with your own pistols, plus the rope dart they added in to pull in enemies, it all works together very well. My only problem with the game mechanics is the stealth. And out of all the stealth games I've seen and played, including Assassin's Creed 3, I find them lacking. You just can't quite do it right. There's just too many variables, and the mini-maps to help you navigate where people are and stuff like that, instead of turning a corner and, oh, there's a guy looking right at you, sound the alarm! Yeah, it doesn't work well. With any mission that involves stealth, I ran into problems. With another mission that involved just action, just fighting through guys, or maybe chasing a guy down either on a horse or by foot, I really didn't have that many problems. Maybe a few tries, three at the most. But then any mission that involves stealth, at least 6 times every time. And that's not even, if you want full sync, you had to do it at, so many more times. I went for the first few, went for full sync, but after that, especially any stealth missions, just got tired of it. It just was way too difficult with all the little things. My problem is, like I said, is you don't really know where the enemies are. Even on your mini-map where it shows you a red dot, you don't know if they're above you, if they're down the hill, or right behind the tree. It just gives you a general direction, really. It doesn't really help at all. Now, maybe I'm just bad at stealth games. Overall, though, it was a pretty well done game. It even got in the top 50 games of the year on Game Informer. But Game Informer also put it in the top 10 disappointments of the year because of how buggy it is. Now, I've heard that there's YouTube videos just riddled with bugs, stuff from a horse falling through the world and just kind of going into nothingness. And I've even experienced one where I was holding onto a door that I was trying to climb up it when this door opened, and then I fell off the door and got stuck inside the door, constantly falling and never able to grab onto something. And even I was just waiting there just to die for someone to kill me. The enemies couldn't even kill me because I was lagged inside the door, and they wouldn't even they couldn't hit me. So watch out for that. There are 2 other games I wanted to talk about. The first game I wanted to talk about was Skyrim. And this game I got for Christmas, and I know I'm a little late on it because it's kind of an older game, but at the same time, I've heard it's so good, and I've seen so many great things about it. Looked up videos, looked really good, and it seems like my kind of a game. I haven't gotten very far, but from what I've seen, I like it a lot. I've got my first shout, and that's really fun. And just all like, you can just be running around and kill some guy. Oh, hey, cool, new weapon, really good. I can just keep that one, keep on going. I can switch between the weapons. You're not like a specific class. Now, I like RPG classes, but I like that you can just go wherever you want, be constantly switching between weapons in the middle of a game. You can shoot your arrows, and then when they get close to you, pull out a sword, maybe a fire spell. I really like the game mechanics to it. Now, the second game I got is Borderlands 2. Let me see if I can explain this game to you. Think of your favorite food ever. And you know how you take a bite of that, and it's just like, so good. Well, after you get done with a good, long fight in Borderlands 2, that's the same feeling you get, times 20. It's just so much fun just to run around and blow everything up. For those of you who have not played either of the games, what they are is basically a shooter RPG, and you have 4 different classes in this game. There's Maya the Siren, Salvador the Gunzerker, Zero the Assassin, and Axton the Commando. I play as Axton. The reason why? He has a turret. What happens is, you just throw down your turret, and it's a special ability. You chuck down your turret, and it pops up and shoots people, like obviously the turrets would do. But the reason I love it is because I've gotten to a certain point where you can attach rocket pods to it. And this thing has 22 rockets per volley. Like that's every time it like unloads. And then it waits, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds till it unloads another volley on top of its machine guns. So a guy's coming at you. You throw this down, and it unloads 22 rockets combined with machine gun fire on these people. So that's pretty fun. But that's not to say this game's like easy at all. It provides a very good challenge to you while at the same time not being impossible, especially if you get some good levels by doing some side quests and stuff like that. As long as you upkeep your level to the mission level, which it does give you before you start it, you keep it pretty good. What happens is every time you like get killed, you die. You don't quite die yet. What you do is you go down into fight for your life, and if you kill someone while you're down, then you get a second win and get back up again. That, or as if you have a friend playing with you, they can revive you, but it takes a good period of time to get you back up with that. Not only is this game fun, it's also hilarious. Like, the people who made this must have had a blast with the humor. Like, take the villain, Handsome Jack. Every once in a while, he'll radio you, and you can hear what he's saying, and during this time, he'll sometimes make jokes or try to slam you or something like that, but it always ends up pretty funny. Like one time, at the very beginning, he tells you he bought a new pony, and it's diamond studded. And he's trying to decide its name, and he asks you what you should name it. He finally decides on the name Butt Stallion. So anyway, if you like shooters, and if you like free roam games, which this is, has so much world to explore, or just hunt down whatever you feel like, this is the game for you. Also, if you're like me, and you think Black Ops or whatever Call of Duty game you have is kind of lacking in story, then this is also the game for you, because it's just so much fun with the weapons and all the different skills and enemies. Let me talk about the enemies for a second. There is so many enemies. Like, it's not people. There's bandits, there's like these things called Goliaths, which I don't know exactly what they are. They look like big guys, but then they go all crazy and turn red, and that's just weird, and they just come running at you. And then there's midgets of all kinds, and flaming people, and the list goes on and on. So that's it for this episode of Nerdism Central. I hope you like it. If you did, like, subscribe, and I will see you later. And have fun gaming.